Welcome everyone. We are going to play NL50 and NL100 today. Checking behind is better because if it gives him a chance to bluff. The 8 is kind of bad because like if he has 8-7 or like Ace-8, he connects now and is not going to turn it into a bluff anymore. Still feel like we have sufficient equity to value bet here on the river. And versus fish raises, we are simply going to fold. On these ace-high textures, we are going to take a step once and then most likely give up on the river. Unless something changes. This step is actually pretty bad. In these Jack 10 textures, we can do a lot. We can have a lot of sizes here, probably including an overbet. Jack 7 probably plays better in the checking line though. We have a small checking frequency here. We are mostly going to bet most hands. Checking here to induce some bluffs. Rivering a full house is nice. Here with so much stuff missing and see how we can never fold. And obviously now just jamming, hoping he has a 6, a straight or something better, maybe a full house. Doesn't really look like it. Looks like a bluff most of the time. Maybe pocket 7s or something. Oh nice, snap call. Let's go. Yeah, ace-8. It's like super wild. I blundered this spot pretty hard. I wasn't paying attention. Obviously we should always bet without showdown value against the fish. I still have trouble getting used to the commentary. So yeah, something that I have to work on. Don't know too much about this guy. Standard play is just to isolate here. Because he is going to isolate pretty wide here. It's more like a cutoff range. They put raise first in, so 9s is probably even fine to go block here. Kinda depends on the player. If he's not readjusting after he isolates, then pocket 9s is probably not good enough to go gold there, but generally should be. I guess checking down is spot checking back is fine as well, but I like the 3 of diamonds more on the betting line. When we check, he's going to apply a lot of pressure into us, and then ace 3 can't do a lot, unless we hit a diamond maybe. Pretty decent card for the range. Nice. The way left this table, so we are going to sit out here. There's a check raise. I'm not in love with the hand. I think we should be able to call once, because he's not doubling too often on the turn. Shouldn't have snap check because we have some donks here again. This is completely out of line now, but I think most of the guys are not thinking too much about the bet size on the turn. I'm just playing face up with flushes. And also we can have every single flush draw in the hand, in the range. Pretty bad river. I think he's not calling like over pairs with all the diamonds on the turn. So we are looking at sets plus now. And then we probably don't want to have a large betting range here as well, because we don't have that many ace of diamonds in the range, and he does. We check called the flop. Pretty standard. C betting on the flop is fine. You can even range bet here if you like. I don't know. There's no reason to bet. No, we're just checking it down a good most of the time, I guess. Can have some Queen X, some 7x. It doesn't have the lower power region. He has some 6x, I guess. And like ace high should be decent. As then I was going to isolate. Yeah, ace 6 is fun. Still have a lot of jack 10, 10, 9, 8, 9 stuff that we are going to turn into a bluff on the river. Don't think we have to bluff with ace either. Range betting the flop. And versus the raise we can't do anything. His PFR is pretty small, so I'm a bit scared here, and like on this texture with this size, I think we can just lay it on. It's a good spot to bluff and attack in general, and just that his range is kinda tightish, so calling is probably better, and then we can just exploit him post flop. Expecting a range bet on this board. Just a pretty good board for him, so I don't want to mess too much here. Because when we raise on the flop, like normally it gets overfolded too, but now he either has a pair or he has at least a gut shot. So it shouldn't be too difficult to overdefend there. It's a pot bet we are folding. It doesn't look too fishy, I don't know him, but he doesn't seem too fishy as well. And then the table isn't that great. Hitting top pair here, it's pretty good. Can start with a check raise. Getting called by all his draws and makes it a bit easier to navigate compared to when we call and the fish behind us makes a call as well. Then we are kinda unhappy about any card. It's a small size. We continue. Against a larger, we would have folded directly on the turn. Small bet again. Can still be like ace-5 or some random shit. I'm not folding. Okay, 2 pair. Pretty bad runout, and he has to turn his pairs into a bluff, so you can debate whether you wanna just overfold on the river. Or like, not bluff catch light. In general, I just like to call light when fishes are betting small. It's like a pretty solid exploit in general. But on boards like these, it's a bit debatable. I'm going to call here again, no reason to raise, and when we hit on the river, we are still going to check raise. Because when he bets, he's never going to fold now. But he bets less frequently than he should. So thinking about donking isn't that bad. I just like to donk when I have a little bit weaker stuff, and not such strong hands like trips. I don't know this guy, so let's fold for now and look what his 3x range consists of, if it's a normal range or if it's a bit more polar. I'm going to bluff against 2 fishes here. Ace 3 suited, flopping 2 pairs, nice. Starting with a check. Against a pot size bet, it's a little bit awkward, but like king of diamonds, ugh. Not good at folding flush draws. Okay. We're going to call once. I have any checks on the river, we have to bluff. Can check raise. It's a bit unfortunate. He will also not bet super often, but just like when they bet, they are not folding that often anymore. Flopping the nuts here is pretty good. Getting called with ace-3 by a jack. As planned. Just going to range bet here. 4 half pot. Pretty good board. Let's stick around on this table for a bit and see how fishy this guy is. Quite sure which flushes we want to check in general. Damn. It's a tough board. Tough board to play. Okay, let's bet here because I feel like the king of hearts is blocking some bluffs by him on the river. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm not getting paid now. What can pay us? Like the queen of hearts specifically, right? Obviously get your fold most of the time here. But sometimes it works. Here, 3-bet board, we definitely need to bet on the flop. There's not much point of checking this one back. Pretty good card on the turn. Shouldn't face too many jams now, so I don't mind betting with 2 overs in the flush draw. Otherwise, if he's jamming too much, this hand obviously gets hurt the most. Ace king got folded, I think. Gonna check. And queen 10 got the fold as well, which is great. I still have like all the overpairs in the range, so I'm not too scared here about my range composition, I mean. And he can either attack with large sizes or small sizes as well. Betting mainly for some equity denial here. Thing is, if they are playing back, then at least we have a draw and a blocker to the nuttish hands. So it doesn't play that awkward though. Range betting the flop. Here, check calling. Also range opening against a fishy player. And against a large donk, we just have to fold. I'm not going to continue because it's like 3 Broadway and it's a bit more difficult to find the bluffs on this turn. Otherwise, the betting frequency on the river will be low, so you should be able to bluff catch light on turns in general. Just the board isn't that great. Cold trials. So it's a limp pot, okay, interesting. Still going to range bet here, so we are kind of isolating range pre-flop, but he's not a fishy player. I wasn't thinking about it, so we shouldn't have range here, but we actually have. It's just that, in general, he will find enough 3-bets. Against fishes, it's fine to isolate range pre-flop, because they don't find enough raises. And with the massive size, we are simply going to fold. Not sure what's going on there. Shouldn't really have large sizes here, like, I have enough Jack-X in the range. And his Jack-X should try to keep, like, to not build the pot too quickly. That's see as well. To not build the pot too quickly, because if he does, then I can shrink my calling range into Jack-X too quickly. And then he is blocking the calling range with his Jack-X too much. It's kind of his board. Let's see. Don't really like the 5 now. Would rather bluff with a 9 here. Because I want him to be able to fold sets by the river. Let's give up. Check this one. Can also bet. This is normally always a call, but the way he's playing, we can elect a 3-bet. He will not find enough forwards, which really hurt us. Check down to the river and bluff there. And like ace-5, we don't have showdown value, but we also never get the bluff through. There are too many full houses and stuff in his range, so simply going to give up. He can't get rid of ace-X now on this river, so just going to bet small, getting called by all the ace-highs and fold out king-highs and weaker stuff. Yes. Opening range here against the fishes. Okay, that didn't work. We can't do much here. This hand probably prints less than it would versus a GTO player. I guess in the sim we don't really have queen 3 offsuited too much. But he will bet too strong on the turn, which sucks. And he will also like probably fold enough of the queen X region if you bet large. So just going to bite the pill and check it down. Actually, we could bet small on the turn as an exploit as well. definitely have to bet this river. Don't need to bet too large, just want to fold out the draws. We're going to get called by all the pairs. We're going for some value now here. Small bets aren't really a thing in GTO, but if the population is not raising enough, then you can do it. And it's more like playing with a punching bag, and then you just size for the strength of your hand. Pretty tight players, I'm a bit scared. We have to go broke with pocket kings though. Still has ace king in the range. Okay, snap call is good. Like checking here because he will bet all his queen X. Because he's scared of me hitting the flush. Oh no, I just want to have the value I deserve. Yeah, he has a flush, damn it. He's hit suited. Come on! That's what happened here. Multival, we are going to check out of position. It's a half pot bet. This one is so close. We don't really have a draw going on currently. I will just fold. This is really close. Now it's kind of the same spot, but more dead money in the pot, so let's raise. Doesn't really work that way in GTO because he has a balanced calling range. Against a fish he doesn't though, so his range is super weak. And we can just run it over. Didn't work this time, unfortunately. That's a bad flop. I like betting more because he will bet very, very often if we are going to check, which this hand really doesn't like. We are never going to fold out 10x, and like even a pocket ace, he's going to call down on the river as well. Don't like bluffing him. Just check it down. This one sucks, but I don't feel like I can fold out ace here. Oh, let's go, we have showdown value. Don't... Queen jack. Yeah, okay. Here we check back to induce a high barrel frequency on the turn, which worked. I guess he has ace-6 of clubs sometimes. But it's mostly like give-ups. But then like even betting smaller isn't that beneficial. Like if he had a 10, he's probably going to fold anyways. So I just like to size up there getting value from an ace. Actually this table sucks too. That sucks. I'm not good at folding pairs, so let's get it in. And we're not super deep, so should be fine. Heavy epic when it's King Jack suited and we hit the full house on the flop. Let's go. And the fish is gone, so we have to go 2 on this one.